All right, good afternoon, everyone. All right, welcome to the T.I.E.S graduation. We're here to recognize and celebrate those who have met all the requirements for successfully completing the Treatment is Essential to Success program in the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas General Division. So let's first kind of give them a hand. I'd like to thank all of you for being here as well, for providing support for our graduates and just for your presence here. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to everyone that is part of the court, and I'm sure that it means quite a bit for the graduates as well. So I want to welcome everyone here. We are actually celebrating as well, and we'll kind of get into that a little bit later. I'll let you talk about the anniversary.
Okay. Thank you.
You know, it's not amazing, but a lot of times, people will come up to me and tell me how wonderful it is for everything that I'm doing with the program, and I do so little, really. We have so many other folks that put in much more time than I do. And I tell folks all the time that it's not me, it really is the graduates putting in the work. But even the graduates and the participants tend to just see me, the coordinator and the probation office, without seeing all the other individuals and entities that are part of the T.I.E.S program. And so I just want to acknowledge them at this time. We get some of our funding through the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, OMAS, from Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board of Franklin County, which is the ADAM Board, and finance and purchasing with the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas as well. I'd like to acknowledge our coordinator, Marquita Clay. And our assigned probation officer, Miss Lynette Hayes. Where's she? Hiding in the audience. I'd like to also acknowledge Catherine Carilla, as well as Bethany Stewart with the Franklin County Public Defender's Office as well. And then for our community partners, Aaron Taylor with Community for New Directions, Cynthia Walters with the Franklin County CBCF program, Cindy Jordan with the Columbus Public Health, Carol Walters with Maryhaven, Carrie Beaver with Forward Health, Emily Kaiser with Comp Drug, Sarah Pelfrey Hurst and Tricia Holden with Southeast, Carla Jones and Brendan O'Ryan with the VA of Central Ohio Healthcare System, Jody Saunders with Ohio Guidestone, Sabine Dotson with Lighthouse Behavior Health Solutions, Letha Smith and Sharon Jackson with Base Camp. We also have partners with House of Hope, Alvis 180 with the Amethyst program, Salvation Army with treatment and housing, Amethyst with housing and residential treatment, Woodhaven in Dayton, Ohio with residential treatment, Onionomics Financial Literacy Program, the Counseling Center in Portsmouth, Ohio with residential treatment, Eden Counseling with treatment and housing, Seacrest Recovery Center, Leora Behavior Health and the Recovery Center. Without all of these different agencies, we would not be able to do the things that we do. I tell anyone that's interested in starting the T.I.E.S program that what we're trying to do is figure out a program that works for them. It's not the same program for everyone. And so part of that is looking at which one of our community partners are the best to provide them the services that they need. to be able to put them on the road to recovery. Also like to make a couple of more acknowledgments. I'd like to acknowledge the Deputy Court Director who is here, Susan Betzel. Thank you very much for your support. Our Chief Probation Officer, Dan Wunderlich, who is here as well. And we have a host of other court employees that are here providing support. I'd like to make a special recognition to the judge that preceded me here as the T.I.E.S court judge, and that's Judge Patrick Sheeran. I didn't tell him this, but I'm going to ask him to come up just to say a couple of words since he is present today.
Since we're under time constraints, I will begin by saying in the beginning. I did want to say a special thank you to Jennifer Brunner, who's a justice on the Ohio Supreme Court, and without whom this T.I.E.S program would never have existed. And I also absolutely want to congratulate and thank the graduates and all the participants who are in T.I.E.S. Go for it. Okay, one day you'll be sitting up here. It's going to be a wonderful thing. And obviously, I don't know any of you. I apologize for that, but I wish you the best of luck in everything. Okay, I enjoyed being on the court. Okay, I was there for almost 12 years, but the most memorable, if not happiest times, were the times I spent on drug court as the judge of the drug court. It mattered so much. Sometimes it was going well, sometimes it wasn't going well. Some people didn't stay in, a lot did. But for those who made it, it was such an honor and a privilege to have done anything, along with all the folks who work at the drug court, to help you out, because it made our day, it made our lives. Okay, so I wish you all the best of everything. Thank you for your time. Your Honor, thank you. Okay, take care. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I do want to acknowledge as well Magistrate Elizabeth Waters, who helps us out during those times when I am not available. All right, at this time, I'm going to ask everyone if you would just please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge the allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Ms. Clay for remarks to the graduates.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marquita Clay, and I am the program coordinator for the T.I.E.S program. I work with our current participants and our current graduates. And so at this time, I am going to briefly mention to you who I met when I was first introduced to each of our graduates upon being referred to the T.I.E.S program. Some of you are aware, most of you are not. When someone is referred to the T.I.E.S program, it's my responsibility to meet them where they are. Actually, all four of them were in the workhouse at the time when I met them, and interview them for the program. I explain the program in detail because I do want to make sure that everyone has as much opportunity to understand what they'll be making a commitment to before they come into the program, and it is a big commitment. After I explain how rigorous, yet supportive, yet rigorous the T.I.E.S program is and will be for them, I ask, what would be a reason that you would want to commit to the T.I.E.S program? And so today, in this moment, I'm going to share with you what each of them told me and the date that they told me these things, and hopefully remind you guys of where you were and who you are now. So I'm going to start with Mr. William Finkel. He goes by Lance. And I met Mr. Finkel on February 28th of 2023 at the workhouse. And at that time, he had been incarcerated since February 17th of 2023. He was very straightforward. He was very serious. He knew exactly what he wanted before I barely opened my mouth. And so that's always fun. It's like, okay, I don't have to go in here and convince or persuade. This person is ready for change. So when I asked him, why does he want to participate in the T.I.E.S program? His response was to keep me on track and to keep me accountable. Now, once Mr. Finkel was in the program, Mr. Finkel and his father actually both became a big part of the program. Dick Finkel, he would call Miss Lynette and he would just, how is he doing? Or I'm really happy to see how he's doing. And one of the things that he asked me to bring up to Mr. Finkel, and I thought I would save it for today, is that he asked me to have Mr. Finkel sing a song called Who Put the Box in the Box? So I'm not sure, we're not going to force Mr. Finkel to honor that request, but I wanted to give everyone also just a brief idea of how important family is to our program. They're a big part of how we're able to do what we're able to do and how our graduates are able to come here. And we have a lot of family out here today. So thank you to the family and congratulations, Mr. Finkel. The next person I will talk about is Mr. Theodore Kraft. I met Mr. Kraft at the workhouse on January 20th, 2023. And when I met him, he told me that he had been incarcerated since New Year's Day, January 1st, 2023. Now, I did not pay Mr. Kraft to give me this response. This is literally what he said, and I quote, "Well, I would like to attend the T.I.E.S program because it is the best and the most elite drug court program in Franklin County to date, and there is a sense of, I'm sorry, there is a sense of prestige that I want to be a part of." I do. I don't know if he was trying to convince us to allow him in the program. Is totally based on eligibility requirements, so he was either able to come in or not able to come in. But I thought that his response was fitting for our 20th anniversary. So as he's graduating the year of our 20th anniversary, I wanted to recall what he said and indicate that we do feel like we're a program of prestige. And so we thank you for entering the program, successfully completing, and congratulations, Mr. Kraft. All right, Mr. Jacob Johnson. I met Mr. Jacob Johnson at the workhouse on January 26th of 2022. And Mr. Johnson, he's grown so much in this program. At the time, I asked, what are the last 4 digits of your social? He said, I don't know my social, but my mom has it. And I said, okay, it's okay. We can continue with the interview. At that time, he had been incarcerated since September of 2021. And Mr. Johnson has a habit, when we would ask him a question, instead of answering the question, he would tell a story. And so he did this for a long time. He's matured since then. So when I asked Mr. Johnson what would be a reason why he would want to enter the T.I.E.S program, his response was, "My mom was telling me that I did all of this time in jail for old and new charges. So why would I have to go to T.I.E.S?" And I probably responded, T.I.E.S is a choice, And so he said, well, I was just hoping for probation and Vivitrol. And then they came up with this T.I.E.S thing. And then he said, well, if I do have to go through the T.I.E.S program, then I guess it would keep me on my toes, I guess. Needless to say, Mr. Johnson was very reluctant to enter and complete the program, however he did. And he is here, and he is a testimony to every one of our current participants who can successfully complete the T.I.E.S program. Mr. Johnson, I think that the program did keep you on your toes. and you did a job well done, so congratulations. And last but not least, Miss Lavelle McCarty. I met Miss McCarty at the jail on March 16th of 2022. And I asked her, why would you want to be a part of the T.I.E.S program after explaining it? She gave me a long response. She said, I have been begging God to give me another chance. I know things could be 1,000,000 times worse. I could be in prison. My kids are so mad at me. They hold so much anger against me. So I have been begging God for a redo and a chance to start with a clean slate. So when I got a chance at probation and then at T.I.E.S, I felt like this is it. This is my chance. I was lucky one time in my life, and this is it. And I don't usually get lucky. When I first met Miss McCarty, the biggest thing that stood out to me before I even knew who she was that the first 4 letters of her name spelled love. And I happened to go back and notice that I met her on March the 16th. Well, anytime I see the date of March the 16th, for some reason I think of John 3:16. So I went to John 3:16 today as I was writing about Miss McCarty. And it said, for this is how God loved the world. He gave his one and only Son, so that everyone who believes in him will not perish but have eternal life. And I thought to myself, Miss McCarty, you did not perish. You and neither of our 3 graduates today did. And for that reason, you are all sitting here in this position, and you have the rest of your life ahead of you. So congratulations to you all. I'm very proud of you. Job well done.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Clay. All right. Every year, every graduation, we give out what is called the Bernard Moore Above and Beyond Award. And it's named after a T.I.E.S participant, Bernard Moore. And the reason that we put it in his name was because Mr. Moore was in the T.I.E.S program. He was older when he got started. He was in his 50s, but was determined that he wanted to kick his addiction. And so he started in the T.I.E.S program November of 2014. And while in the program, he ended up getting diagnosed with colon cancer. So he's in the program and going through chemo while in the program, and then ended up having his gallbladder removed as well. But one of the things that he kept telling me was he kept saying, Judge, I don't want to die addicted. I don't want that essentially to be my legacy. And so despite the challenges that Mr. Moore had, in March of 2018, he graduated from the T.I.E.S program. And I think approximately a year after that, he passed away. But despite all of those challenges, he was able to successfully complete the program. So this year, we'd like to announce the Bernard Moore recipients to Mr. Jacob Johnson and Miss Lavelle McCarty.
Thank you. Wait, Ms. McCarty.
And one of the things that we always encourage is for those that graduate from the program to continue being a part of the program. I always invite them to come to any of our T.I.E.S hearings to be able to share with the participants kind of where they are and where they stand. The person that we will have as our guest speaker is a previous participant and graduate of the T.I.E.S program. I'm looking out in the audience and I see a couple of our graduates, and I'm always pleased to see our graduates. If You two would please stand. Is there anyone else? Yeah. All right. Now, the one with the hat on, Mr. Phillips, while in T.I.E.S, went through an internship, ultimately finished that internship and got a job here at the courthouse with public facilities management, and did an is doing an excellent job. I told Mr. Phillips, because he works around the courthouse, don't make me look bad, okay? And he has not. And next to Mr. Phillips is Ms. Hainbaugh, and Ms. Hainbaugh works with Seacrest now as a counselor. I don't know what exactly your title is, but Ms. Hainbaugh, which I didn't find out until right around the time she was graduating, shared that when she first came to the T.I.E.S program, her first time was at one of our graduations. And she was telling herself at that time, as she was looking at the folks that were graduating, she said, well, their addiction can't be as bad as mine. There's just no way that I'm going to be able to get up here. And she did a wonderful job and is doing extremely well. So our speaker today is a T.I.E.S graduate, as I indicated to you, Ms. Tracy Clark. And Ms. Clark also, when she began her T.I.E.S journey, did so at later stages in her life. And like so many of our folks, they've been in and out of programs. They've been in for addiction 10, 15, 20 years or more in many situations. During the time that she was in the program, one of the challenges that she had to face was that she had a grandson up in Cuyahoga County that got charged with murder. And she was the matriarch of the family, and here she is in Columbus, and everybody up in Cleveland's trying to get her to get up there to sort of keep the family together. And so she had to make a very difficult decision about what she needed to do at that point in time in her life for her own recovery. And while she was in communication with her family, she knew what she needed to do for herself and her own recovery. She became quite a bit of a mentor to some of our participants and a mother to others as well. So at this time, I'd like to bring up Ms. Clark to share a few words with us. Ms. Clark?
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you. First off, I want to say congratulations to all the graduates that graduated today. And I want to say congratulations to all the current T.I.E.S participants, because this is the beginning of a new life. I graduated from T.I.E.S in 2022, and during my journey with T.I.E.S, I was determined to do something different. You know, as Judge McIntosh explained to you, that I had a lengthy history of in and out of rehabs, in jail, lengthy record with that, and I had some clean time. I had 13 years clean prior to coming into the T.I.E.S program, and I ended up relapsing. So I was grateful that I went to jail, and I am the one to say I never thought I would hear myself say that, but I was grateful for going to jail because that helped me save my life. What I will say is that in T.I.E.S court, one thing that stuck with me is that Judge McIntosh said, do what's working for you. Do what is working for you. During my journey, I had some difficult times. I was contemplating on throwing everything away and go to Cleveland to deal with my family. But I knew that wasn't going to be the answer, and I wanted something else different. So I stayed. And that problem, it didn't work out in his favor, unfortunately, but it worked out in my favor that I'm standing here today. There are so many promises in the T.I.E.S program. I never, what I didn't share with, I went back to school right after I graduated from T.I.E.S court in 2022, and went back and got my high school diploma. And and I got it in 2 months, and that was crazy. I never thought when my addiction took me to a 3rd grade reading level. When the last class grade that I remember was the 10th grade that I went in. So that was something that showed me that I can do this. What showed me I can do that was going and finishing T.I.E.S program. And one thing I got to say about T.I.E.S program is that, they give us these tools, but when we get done with the program, that's when the real work begins. That's when all the work begins. I'm my only person that's holding myself accountable. I'm responsible for my own recovery at this point. And I kept that in my mind. I remember the pain that brought me into T.I.E.S program. And I used that to my advantage. So I ended up graduating from high school. I was enrolled in March and graduated in June. Enrolled into Columbus State, and currently in my 2nd year at Columbus State for social work. Yeah. So the possibilities and the miracles and the dreams can happen, but they can't happen if we're using. So I just want to let each and every one of you know that I always lean back on this program and follow everything. I live in a structure. I still live structurally. I don't be out at night. If I'm going to a meeting, yes. But I have a purpose for everything I do in my life now. And that's important to know, is to have a purpose of whatever you're doing, and to rely on, and don't forget to not ask for help. At the age that I am now, we kind of get stubborn, but I learned to push that to the side and ask for the help. And it's benefited me tremendously. So with that being said, to the future graduates that's sitting out in the audience, you can do this. I am 56 years old, and you can. If I can do it, I know you can. And I just want to thank everyone here that's funded this program, because it has changed a lot of lives. It's certainly changed mine. And again, thank you.
Okay, at this time, it is our time and opportunity to recognize the graduates. But one of the things that we do is that we give people out in the audience opportunities to say a couple of words if they wish to do so. No one's under any obligation at all. But if you want to step up here and say anything to one of the graduates or all of the graduates, we give you that opportunity at this particular time, if anyone is inclined to do so. Okay.
Hello, my name is Samuel Langhans. I am Theodore Kraft's, might as well say brother, but I'm also his sponsor. I've known Teddy since he was just a young boy, and I watched him grow up from just a little tyke. And Teddy, I'm very proud of you, what you've done here with this program. This program is awesome. I would recommend it to others. I know it was a stretch. You would work till there was no work left in you, but then you had to go to T.I.E.S court, and you still made it every single day. You fought with no sleep. You just kept going. I don't know how you did it, little brother, but I'm very proud of you, Teddy. Very proud of you, and the rest of you proud of you as well. Keep.
I'm Jonathan. I'm an alcoholic. To Lavelle, wow. I'm so happy you're in my life. You make everything so much better when times are rough. You just make everything okay. You know, even when I'm really down, you still make everything okay. And that's what I love about you. You know, so she trained me to be a manager where I'm at in my store. You know, this woman, I've never seen anybody work like her. She puts 110% in whatever she does. You know, and she has always got an open hand to help anybody that I've ever known that she knows. And she doesn't hesitate to do anything for that person. And that's recovery. You know, she's willing to put things aside to help someone else, you know. And what's good about that is, you know, that's growth, you know. And I love you, man. You're everything to me right now. And that is so lovely to experience this with you and to have this vibe with you. It's an amazing feeling, but thank you, and congratulations to everyone also.
Thank you. Hello, my name's Mariah, and I'm also an alcoholic. I've known Lavelle for quite a few years now. I'm gonna cry. I am so proud that you have made it this far. I remember us complaining when we were phase 0 clients that we weren't, we didn't know how we made it through the first 24 hours, let alone the years that we have made it through. And I'm so proud of you. I love you.
My name's Brandy, and I'm also a recovering addict. And Shelly, I'm so proud of you. Lavelle is what you guys know her as. I know her as Shelly. We get to be sober together, and my other sister's over there, and she's done it too. And I'm so proud of you guys. Mom is in heaven, and she's shining down, smiling down like she's literally dancing today. I love you, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of you guys too. You guys have worked so hard. Just keep up the hard work. I love you so much.
I'm Sarah. I'm also a recovering addict. And as Mariah said, Lavelle, Mariah, and I, and another friend that unfortunately died of this disease were together from the beginning and hating life at 0 phase and miserable. And Mariah and I try to be cheerful, and we'd pick Lavelle up, and she's like, "How you feeling today, Lavelle?" Like being so effing miserable every day for a long time. And we got through that, and for her to be all this time later, honestly, one of the strongest ones out of our whole group is just nothing but God. Even your new addition, Jonathan, is amazing. And like everything in your life is unfolding like we said it would. And it's all because of this program and whatever your higher power may be. And I love you. You're my best friend. And I don't know if I could do life without you. I'm so proud of you.
I'm Talina, and I'm Jacob's mom. Sorry, I'm an emotional person, but if there was ever an image for the word can't, and I broke the cycle, it's him. I'm so proud of you, son.
Lance. We started this process, well, I started just a little bit before you, and we met, we were in the same recovery house, things like that, and you were like, I don't know if I can do all this. I don't know. And I was like, just buckle down, just do it, man. Just do it. You know, I'm giving you advice, and we were helping each other all through the way, and I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. You made it through. You know, you're doing things, chairing meetings now and working your job, you're doing great. I'm really, really proud of you, brother.
Hey, my name's Kyle. I'm an alcoholic. I'm also Jacob's sponsor. And when I met Jacob, man, I didn't really know what to think of the guy. I was kind of just, I was just like, hey, man, God puts people in my life that, that keep me sober. And I'll tell you one thing about Jacob, man, that he doesn't understand is that he keeps me sober more. He helps me more than I help him, man. And that's something that he's learning too. That through the stuff we've been through in our lives, man, we finally have a chance to help other people. And through our conversations at Bob Evans, that's normally our spot in the mornings, man, where we meet up. He doesn't get that he helps me stay sober just as much, if not more, than I help him, man. So I'm really proud of you, brother, man. You keep doing your thing, man.
Hey y'all, my name's Peyton. That's my Aunt Shelly. I just want to say I'm proud of you for going through the program. I'm proud of all of you. I hope y'all do good. That's all I want to say.
Now, as all the graduates know, successfully completing the program is only the beginning of their journey. As was indicated earlier by Ms. Clark, what we're hoping is that the tools that we have given you, that you continue to utilize those tools and continue to be successful in your recovery. You all have done tremendously well to make it to this stage, and to the participants in the audience, my expectation is that I'm going to see all of you up here at some point in time because it can be done. Yes, we put a lot of structure on folks, a lot of demands. I expect a lot out of the folks in the program, but you got to step up, and all of you have stepped up. And so I want to congratulate you at this particular time for successfully completing the program. So first of all, our first graduate, Mr. Kraft. Now, Mr. Kraft did make going through T.I.E.S look easy, but I know it wasn't for him. But sometimes folks come in and their head's exactly where it needs to be. And when we start putting more and more on them, they step up and continue doing the things that we ask them to do. And that was Mr. Kraft. So here's your termination from community control. Your certificate and your cell phone. There you go.
Okay, so this is the part where I tell you about the T.I.E.S program. I know that there's a lot of participants sitting in the audience that think that you can't do it, that you can't complete it. The pivotal point for me in this program was to realize that they were resources. They're not. It's not us against them. It's really being able to accept help in your life. At the end of the day, we all need help, whether it's a flat tire on the side of the road or trying to get sober. It's really a prestigious program. I meant what I said when Miss Marquita really interviewed me. I can remember trying to get in the T.I.E.S program when Patrick Sharon was the head circuit judge. It's pretty neat to graduate it. It's amazing to set the precedence for the rest of your life through this court. And at the end of the day, when you graduate this, there's still resources that you can depend on later on in life. Life happens. You're going to need them. Thank you.
Yeah. And now coming up to the mic to sing for us, our next graduate is Mr. William Lance Finkel. And Mr. Finkel likewise had a level of determination that, again, made it seem easy, even though I know that it was not. But he was focused and determined and continued to do all the things that we asked him to do and did them very well. So here is your termination paperwork. Yep. Your certificate of graduation. And I'll hold on to this for you.
Don't lose that.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
So I just want to say thanks for everybody to come out for their support. I'm very grateful to be here today. If it wasn't for T.I.E.S and C&D program that I was in, I wouldn't have been able to be where I'm at today. One of those things are being able to go to recovery centers and talk to other addicts. I get a big joy of that. You know, I always tell them that, you know, it's an easy program for a complicated person. I also would like to thank Kenny Jones, who was my counselor at C&D. He was a big part of my recovery. And I'd like to thank Mr. McIntosh, Miss Marquita, Miss Lynette, and all the people we didn't get to meet. And most importantly, I'd like to, and I'm going to kill you, Dad, for that song. But most importantly, I'd like to, you know, thank my best friend, my dad. He's never turned his back on me. He's always been there every step of the way. And the most rewarding thing I've gotten out of this whole program was him saying how proud he was of me. That's all.
Okay, our next graduate is Jacob Johnson. Now, not only did Jacob work the program, but Jacob worked us while he was going through the program as well. Jacob started in the CBCF program. And so I wanted to start off with small milestones for Jacob. So my goal every week was when he would come to the program is that Jacob didn't have any tickets through CBCF. And so every time I'd say, okay, next week, Jacob, when you come, make sure you don't have any tickets, that you're following the rules, because I tell all the participants, the rules are the rules, whether you want them or not, or whether you like them or not. But he did successfully complete CBCF, had some bumps in the road, but has come a tremendous way. And so really proud, because it's not easy for everyone, and it was work. And Jacob put the work in and is now a graduate. So here's your termination paperwork. Your certificate. And I'll hold on.
I had it wrote down on my phone, my bad. I just want to say thanks to the T.I.E.S team for holding me accountable and pushing me to do better. You guys are like a second family to me, and to the new people in T.I.E.S, stay focused. It's a better life. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
All right. Our next graduate is Lavelle McCarty. And Ms. McCarty had challenges as well. but she continued to work hard at the program. She recognized a lot of obstacles that she had to deal with, and over time was able to deal with those obstacles. She always maintained a positive attitude, even when things weren't going as well for her as she would have hoped to. But by persevering and continuing to push forward, you too are a graduate today. Here's your termination paperwork.
I'm really nervous, guys, so bear with me, but there's a lot of people that was on this journey with me, and I really don't want to miss out saying something about them. So first, I want to say my brother, who's always stood by my side no matter what, and through my addiction, and his wife, his name's Dwayne, and his wife's name's Tammy, and they were always there for me. When I was homeless, my brother would drag me in late at night, and she would make me a bed on the couch, and she never complained, and she never said one bad word to me the whole time. That was really amazing. Thank you, Tammy. I love you for that. Thank you, Dwayne. I want to say to my son, Aaron, who probably got hurt the most through my addiction because he was the youngest, I'm so thankful that you're here today, that you came, and I'm so thankful that you allowed me back in your life, even if it was just recently. It means the world to me. I love you and Adriana both very much. Thank you so much for just being there for me, and I'm sorry for all the times that I hurt you. And then I have my three sisters here. One's up from Kentucky. I have Gina, Brandy, and myself. That's the three sisters. Told you I'm nervous, but we're all sober today together. My sisters in Lighthouse, and I have my district manager here, Kat, who has believed in me and helped me promote me through my work and hopefully on through my career. She's been really great, and she's supportive for all recovery. She comes to everyone's recovery leads and everything. She supports us so much, so thankful for that. And my Uncle Larry, who when I was finished at Lighthouse, let me have rent his basement for very cheap, thank you. And then I have over here my team, which is my case manager and my counselor. I thought Miss Carla would be here, the housing coordinator, but I don't see her anywhere. But anyways, this is Laura. She really helped me get through so much. She pushed me to do things that I really couldn't do. When the judge says dog days, I was in dog days, depressed, miserable. I had to change I had to go through a whole legal name change because my birth certificate didn't match my Social Security card since I was born. So she helped me do that, and I would be like, I can't go do that. And she'd be like, yes, you can. We're going to do this. We're going to do it. We're making it a date, and we're going to do it. And I'm going to go with you, and we're going to do it. And she did. She pushed me through everything that I really just thought there was no way that it's ever going to get done. I thought it would take forever, but it didn't. She pushed me through, and so I still think of her today when I have obstacles, that she really you can just do it one step at a time. Then I have my counselor, Tara, who listened to me be miserable every week. And she always just tried to help me find some positive thing. And I remember one time I was so depressed. I was so anxious, and I didn't even know what to do, and I was having a hard time. And I was having to take the bus everywhere, and I was like, man, I don't even know if I just take the bus straight down to Broad Street and get on a van from the Lighthouse back to my house, or I got to wait there for 3 hours before I can even go home, or just try to take a bus all the way around the city to go home. And she was like, I'm taking you home. And I was like, oh. So she saved me that day. The team that I had there at the Lighthouse has really just catered to me and really helped me even in all everything that I had to go through. So then I have my good friends who walked through sobriety with me, Sarah and Mariah. They've been with me from the beginning. And I want to say new friends that I've made, Stephen, Jordan. They're so supportive, and they're so great. And Stephen's probably my recovery twin. He's miserable. And then I want to say thank you to Jonathan. I was single and celibate the whole time, the whole 2 years. And I just now started dating someone, and I really fell in love, and I'm happy about that. And it kind of changed my whole feeling and my whole my whole outlook on life, which was refreshing because I sure needed it. And then I want to say thank you to all my T.I.E.S court people. These, Miss Marquita, the judge, when I first met him, I thought his countenance, he was so kind. Like he is kind in the courtroom, like he really is. He really makes you feel like you just start to have family with him. And Miss Lynette, she always helped me through all my problems, especially later in the end when I wouldn't know what to do in my life. She was like, became my counselor. And then Miss Marquita, I didn't really talk to her much, but she was always there to tell me something positive when I did meet with her and to be proud of me. So I thank her for that. And thanks, everybody.
All right, before we close out, I want to acknowledge a couple of other previous T.I.E.S graduates that joined us, Ms. Perks and Mr. DeLine. Good to see you too. All right, we do have some participants that are phasing up today. So when I call your name, if you could come over this way. So phasing up, we have Ms. Holly Keffert.
Thank you. Can't wait to get out.
Yeah, I know it. You'll be back. Chelsea McDaniel. In here. Oh, thank you. Mary Hawthorne. I didn't see Miss. All right. Ashley Clark. Let's see Miss Clark. Oh, no, I don't think Miss Clark is here. And then Pauline Kubik. Quebec. Okay, is that everything? Yep. All right, to the graduates. Okay, please don't be a stranger. Please feel free to stop by any T.I.E.S hearing anytime. You're always welcome. We are still a resource for you. Please feel free to get in contact with us when things are going wonderfully well for you or when things are going difficult for you. If there's any way that we can help you, okay, we're still here for you. So we want to encourage you to continue doing the things that you've done as your journey in recovery continues. So congratulations to all of our graduates. If we can give them one more hand, please. All right, for the graduates, hang up here because I got to take your photograph. For the participants, don't leave. You know the drill. You need everyone to meet up here at the stage so that I can take your photographs as well. For everyone, we have food, so please eat. We always have extra, and I can't eat the extras, so please help yourselves to the food. Again, friends, family members, and supporters, thank you. Thank you very much for being here for the graduation. We are adjourned.